Jimmy, big game. I think this is probably a career best for you across the board. I mean, just what was working well for you today against what Rutgers was throwing at you?
Credit to them. They play hard on defense. But our game plan was just, keep my confidence going into the game. The past few games, I haven't scored that much, so coaches put that confidence in me. Just being in the gym working, and today was my day. My teammates found me, and I was able to score the ball.
Again, questions for Jimmy? Just raise your hand. We'll take them. Go ahead.
You managed to contain Cliff Amori. What was the game plan going in, and how did you manage to stop him?
Coach did a good job of hyping me up, and we watched a lot of film on them guys, and credit to him also. He's a good player. Not this one game define who he is. He's a good player. I've seen him across the years. But me, I just came in the game thinking that I would work him, and I think I did my job.
Anything else for Jimmy? Go ahead. Yep.
So I actually think this is the second time you're playing in the Gotham Classic. I believe you played when you were on St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis. Yeah.
How cool has it been to see your game evolve from then to now?
It feels good. It's just the work paying off. I'm one of the hardest workers I feel in the country. You can ask anybody. I just put in the work, and you put in the work, the results gonna show. So.
Go to this gentleman over here, second row.
Jimmy, similar to earlier question, what does it take to out-rebound a team like that 47-26? Because that clearly made such a good difference.
It's just the will to go to the glass. We knew coming into the game they weren't a great defensive rebounding team, so coach just stressed that on us, offensive rebounding. And all through the year we've been a good offensive rebounding team, and today we listened to him and it worked out for us.
Go to this gentleman in the front row.
Yeah, what do you think you have to improve the most so you can hopefully get drafted in the NBA?
I just got to keep improving my game, keep improving my body. I still got a lot of work to do, but just improve my game. Most definitely, it's a different game. It's not just a back to the basket game now in the pros. So just evolving my game and adjusting to the pros if I get there. Once I get there.
Alex, go ahead and wrap us up.
What was it like playing in this environment? Because I know it was a neutral site game, but I mean, it was pretty much a Rutgers home game.
Yeah, it felt good. I think this is really our second one in the year like this. Our first one was against Georgia Tech. So we lost the game against Georgia Tech, and we knew we couldn't come in like that, especially coming in at Christmas break. We just had to stay focused on the game, and that's what we did, and we got the win.
So, Coach, big performance for you guys today against the Rutgers heavy crowd. I know Jimmy and Cam both finished with double-doubles. Speaking about Jimmy specifically, just what did he provide to you guys today down low that I guess from your perspective that allowed him to be as effective as he was?
Yeah, we had a lot of respect for Coach Peichel and their program and their players. Obviously, it jumps out at you at film, and we talked about Amori a lot. And I think Jimmy took it personal a little bit and wanted to play his best, and his motor was going today, and he was our anchor. He was our anchor to a lot of things we were trying to do offensively, both with trying to attack Amori at times, but at the same time do enough to pull him away from the basket to reduce his effectiveness at being a shot blocker. And then the other end, just trying to keep him in front of us and stay away from the rolls and the lob dunks. And Jimmy executed the game plan very well. And then, the biggest key we talked about all day long was just rebounding. We felt like that needed to be our calling card today. It needed to give us extra possessions. We need to limit theirs. And I thought for the most part we did a pretty good job.
Questions for Coach? Raise your hands. We'll get to you. Go ahead, this gentleman right here.
So, Coach, you basically had all 5 starters return this year. With how the transfer portal was today and guys kind of jumping place to place, what does that say about this team, or what do you think that says about you as a coach, that you were able to return everyone?
Yeah, I don't like to talk about that in terms of what it says about me, but I think it says a lot about these kids and their belief in Mississippi State and our program and how they're treated. We coach them hard. We tell everybody how it's going to be, and they didn't have to, take it word for word. That they were a part of it. So, no question, it makes you feel really good that we're doing the right thing to get those guys to come back. But I think it says more about who they are as kids, as people. What this university means to them, and we were pretty giddy, once they made those decisions, and hopefully we can, carry some momentum going into Christmas.
Go ahead, second row middle. Anybody? Questions? Go ahead, Alex.
Coach, with Tolu being out, realistically until SEC play, to have the kind of production that you guys are getting down low from players like Cam, players like Jimmy, just how big has that been for the overall success of this team?
I can't imagine where we'd be without it. Jimmy came in knowing that Tolu was coming back. He had a lot of confidence in himself. Certainly no one could have predicted he would be in this position with playing a bigger role, more minutes than he's used to. He's really gotten himself in really good shape. Certainly, we're all excited about the idea of Tolu rejoining, this team, and but I don't know where we'd be without him. Keyshawn Murphy, is getting healthier. He played a real big game against North Texas a week ago. Couldn't get it going today, but he gives us a different look. Play 5 small ball or 4 big ball with him, and hopefully, he can get his confidence back and play better going forward.
To coach's right, front row.
You touched on Cliff Amore a couple of times. Just how important was he in your scouting report when you're watching them, and how important is he to what they do successfully that you were trying to key in on?
Yeah, he just affects the game so much. He can do a little bit of everything. Obviously, his rim protection, and not just him, but their team. They got great athletes, and they got a lot of pride. They wear it on their sleeves the way they play. Mag and him and Hyatt, those guys that just seem to play the game the right way. And certainly we just didn't just talk about Amori, but he had a lot to do with how we game planned and how we try to prepare to play this game. And certainly him getting 2 early fouls, that's tough for them, and got them out of rhythm a little bit, but they survived it. They had a great end of the first half. We didn't, and they closed the gap and got him back on the court in the second half.
Yeah, follow up. Go ahead.
Follow up on playing this game. It's a neutral site game in front of a 95% Rutgers crowd. When you agreed to play this game, was that something that you kind of figured would happen, and just process of this game happening, just from your end?
Yeah, we knew it would be a huge slant, towards Rutgers, but we weren't playing in their home arena. I was told by many colleagues not to do that, so I heeded their advice and agreed to play in the neutral site game. And that's what we talked about with us. We played in a similar situation last week against North Texas in Tupelo, and it was a neutral site game, but there wasn't much green in the stands, and we talked a lot about we're going to be in their backyard. It's just going to be us. We'll have a spattering of maroon in the crowd, but it's going to be a lot of red. And I thought our kids did a good job of keeping them at bay for the most part. And that was another thing about the game plan is, Maury just those roll lob dunks that he gets and those putback dunks that he gets, energizing the crowd. We were trying to, in not just like all about that, but in subtle ways, try to stay away from those plays as well.
Anything else for Coach? We'll go back to Alex.
In that second half, you guys just found your stride and seemed to dominate on both sides of the ball. What did you say to the team at the half? Anything specific that allowed you guys to just kind of explode as you did in the second half?
Our daubers were down a little bit going into halftime, including mine. I made some silly calls down the stretch that didn't help our team going into halftime, where I felt like we had played pretty well and we were in good position, up 29-24. We played the 2-for-1 game. Unfortunately, both our 2s were turnovers, and they scored 5 points as a result of them, and it wasn't the way we wanted to end the half. So I was upset with myself, and our enthusiasm wasn't what I thought it should be. But we tried to reset it. We just really tried to reset it and play with a lot of confidence. I thought a big factor in the second half was our ability to take care of the ball. They're very good at turning people over. For the most part, I thought we handled their presses pretty well. We had a lot of respect for them. We spent a lot of time on the different looks that they give us. It's hard to prepare for it. Luckily, we had a lot of time. They showed so many different looks with the matchup and the different variations of their press, and they're really good at it. But I was proud of our guys for handling it for the most part.
Anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
You touched on your colleagues saying that to not play Rutgers at the rack, it's a tough place to play. I don't know how much you can speak on this, but how difficult do you think it is for a team like Rutgers that has a home court advantage at that level to schedule opponents to come play there? Because I imagine it's a difficult thing out there.
It's hard for all of us. It's hard for all of us. In my opinion, I think you'll see more teams doing it. The neutral site games are kind of a thing right now, but agreeing to play good programs at a home and away for the Power 5 schools, if you will, or just even good programs. I think everyone understands the net and the analytics that it can't hurt you. And it's a great treat for fan bases. I know we're going to be trying to do that going forward.